said, I have not yet decided my pathway or the level. So I'll just be sharing my experiences on how I chose, how it is to choose a career and how I chose my career, or in fact, I can say the career chose me. So a very warm welcome and good afternoon, my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So let me ask you this question: how daunting task is when choosing a career? Like, do anyone of you know when you were as a kid what you would become when you grow up?
Yes, very difficult for me, Toastmaster Vishal, because I was not aware what to do after my plus two class, whether go for engineering or arts or commerce. I was very confused.
Yeah, I know those Sudhir, that's really confusing, and I'm still confused even after I have joined a career as a software engineer. So I think the choosing of career continues lifelong. So yeah, when I was as a kid, I didn't even know the meaning of the word career, let alone how I can choose what I want to become. So I just knew one thing, that when you grow up, you have to earn something so that you can get respect from your family members and the society. So I'm sure everyone had their own. Uh, am I audible? Is it okay? Yeah. So I just knew that yeah, you have to earn something to get the respect from the family members and the society of the people. So I'm sure everyone had their own version or the definition of the word career when they were growing up as a kid. So I come from a business family background, and my father used to run a shop. So I used to see him working so hard and like meeting my family demands and needs. So everyone used to respect him in my family except my mom. uh, just kidding, like my mom has immense respect for my dad. It's just she doesn't wanted me to live my life what he has lived until now, because being a shop owner has its own struggles and pros and cons, you can say. So just he doesn't wanted me to live the same way as my father has lived his life. So that's how my first dream or the career to become a shop owner got shattered. So until class 10, I could have become an engineer, a pilot, a doctor, a chef. The list can continue long as I progressed with my stages of life. Because whomever I was seeing, like I was idolizing that person and I wanted to become that person. So after class 10, you has Toastmaster Sudhir said, like you have to choose science or commerce so that you can choose a career after plus two. So after class 10, I had to choose whether I want to go for whether I want to choose science or whether I want to go for commerce. So another question I want to ask, like how many of you think that their career decisions are getting influenced by the career decisions their friends are making? Well, at that point of time, mine was. So as I've studied in the same school from class 1 to 12, I have my friends, closest friends, who were taking science as their next elective after class 10. So by God's grace and with help of those friends, I was able to secure enough to choose science for my plus two. So this is how I chose my science as a stream for my plus two subject. Until class 12, again I was enjoying with in the company of my friends and have no clarity what I wanted to become or what I want to do after class 2. So that's how the class 12 ended, and it was time to go for a college and choose a professional degree so that you can build a career in. I again went to my best friend to ask what he was choosing. He then said marine engineering. I the word term itself sounded so fascinating to me. I didn't even knew what that marine engineering term meant. So he then cajoled me and explained me how the perks of marine engineer would be, how he'd be traveling the world for free of cost, and also earning a huge sum of money as a salary. So I was very much convinced with his speech of cajoling me to take up the marine engineering, and I jumped on board the ship to become a marine engineer. I didn't knew what was lying ahead of me, that what I would have to do become a marine engineer. But looks like destiny had different plans for me. I couldn't clear the medical requirement which was required to enroll for the course of the marine engineer. So when I talk to my friend now, who has completed a marine engineering, so he said, with every as the idiom goes, grass looks greener on the grass looks greener on the other side. So he was telling me what are the cons of being a marine engineer. Though it was a very he was able to travel the world, he was able to earn a huge sum of money, but with that pros comes some cons, which is like staying away from the family for six months, then getting seasickness. And he told many interesting stories about the seas, uh, how the storms get developed in the sea and all those things, which I thought, okay, fine, I am good as a software engineer now, which the career has chosen for me, and not I have chosen as a career. So sometimes it is okay to not know what you want to become or what you want to do in your life. Sometimes destiny plays the role for you. Sometimes the destiny chooses the career for you. So just go with the flow. And also, like, I remember this dialogue from the film called Lakshya, where Boman Irani tells to his son Ritik Roshan, where he was confused what he want to become. He said, "No matter what you want to become, son, even if you want to become a grass cutter, become a very good grass cutter. If you want to become a good engineer, become a very good engineer. Whatever you choose to do in your life, excel in that career and be the best in that field." So now I'm working as a software engineer. Even though I have not chosen this as my career, I try to be the best in this field, and will also explore if I can become something else if I find out along my way. That's it from my end.